The full Play It Today breakdown is linked in the description on theircheck.com, and Food Fight is one of the easier Atari arcade games to recommend, as long as you pick the right version. For most people, that means Atari 50, not the 7800 cartridge first, not the modern reimagining first, Atari 50. Food Fight still makes sense today because the idea is instantly readable. You are racing for the ice cream cone while chefs close in, and your defense is whatever food is lying around the stage. It is fast, silly, and surprisingly tense in that very arcade way where one clean idea does almost all the work. That is the reason to play it. The reason to be realistic is that Food Fight is also a compact score chase game. It is not a long-form action game. It is not something most modern players need to spend hours with. The appeal is the first credit rhythm. Move quickly, throw food just enough to survive, grab the cone, repeat until the pressure catches up. That still works. It works because the objective is clear in seconds. There is no complicated rule set to decode. You see the ice cream, you see the chefs, you see the food, and the game starts making sense immediately. For a casual retro-curious player, that is a big advantage. But if you want depth, progression, unlocks, or a modern campaign structure, Food Fight is not trying to give you that. It is best as a sharp arcade sample, not as a big project. So, how should you play it legally today? For most players, the best current option is Atari 50, the anniversary celebration. It includes the arcade Food Fight inside a modern Atari collection with current purchase paths across major platforms. That is the cleanest recommendation because it gets you to the original arcade game without hunting for a cabinet, buying old hardware, or sorting through questionable online versions. There are two other official paths worth separating. Food Fight 7800 is a current Atari cartridge option that is useful if you own compatible Atari hardware, especially an Atari 2600 Plus or original Atari setup. But that is a hardware owner route, not the low-friction modern answer. Then there is Food Fight, Culinary Combat. That is an official Atari-published modern action game based on the classic, but it is not the same thing as playing the original arcade Food Fight. Treat it as a reimagining, not a replacement. That distinction matters, because search results can make all of these look interchangeable. They are not. Atari 50 is the best version for most people because it gives you the original arcade game in the lowest friction modern context. It also puts Food Fight in a broader Atari frame, which helps because this is a short game. You can sample it, understand it, and move on to other Atari titles without feeling like you bought a whole setup for one arcade curiosity. The purest route is still original arcade hardware. The practical hardware route is the 7800 cartridge if you already live in that ecosystem. But the sensible recommendation is simple. Start with Atari 50. Before starting, understand the loop. Food Fight is not really a maze game, and it is not a shooter in the usual sense. You are managing a moving chase. The food is temporary control, not unlimited firepower. Throw enough to create space, but do not stand around fighting when the ice cream is the goal. That is the biggest first-time adjustment. Do not overplay each screen. Move, create openings, take the cone. Food Fight is still worth playing, especially as a short arcade session through Atari 50. Just keep the expectation right. This is a crisp, funny, high-pressure score game, not a deep modern action game in disguise.